Imagine pulling any set of random items from your closet and they always make you look good and feel amazing. Now, imagine all the time you would save in getting dressed, not to mention the uptick in your self-esteem. So today we're going over some spring outfit formulas for the pear shape. Now, we're talking about outfit formulas, not to be confused with wardrobe basics because I can't stand wardrobe basics. So let's go. First, we need to make sure that we are on the same page. And side note, we should play like a little drinking game. And if you're not into the libations, you can do it with some water. Take a shot every time I say pear-shaped outfit formulas. But we need to establish who is a pear and who is not a pear. So the best way to figure out if you are a pear is by taking your measurements. A pear is someone whose hip width is the widest part on the body. So with a pear, you're gonna have narrow shoulder width, a defined waist, and wider hips. If you're looking to balance a pear shape, these are some outfit formulas to consider. So outfit formulas, according to Google, are a combination of clothing items that you know work well together to create a stylish look. It's similar to meal planning for your wardrobe. Now, I've done a couple of these already on different body shapes, and I don't know how I feel about that definition, but what I do know is, like all body shapes, a pear is a shape, not a size. So you can be a petite pear, you can be a plus size pear, you can be a tall pear, you can be a busty pear, you could be a busty petite pear, you could be a busty tall pear, you could be a pear with a big belly, you could be a tall pear with a big belly, you can be a pear with a short torso, a pear with a long torso, etc., etc. So we're talking in general pear shapes today, because if I went through every possible combination of the different types of pear bodies there would be, I'd be here all day and you would have had to meet me about 20 years ago when I used to do image consulting for a living and book a session. But I do have videos on how to dress when you have a bigger bust, when you have a short torso, So, check out this playlist here and you take from each video what you need and you put it together for yourself. So, like I mentioned, with a pear, the hip width is the widest area on the body in relation to your shoulder width and your waist. Now, if you're looking to balance a pear, now don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to tell you what to wear or any of that, but if you are looking to balance a pear, the idea is to avoid adding visual bulk to the hips. And in order to do that, it is also important to understand lines. Now, we talk about lines a lot on this channel, and I'll just give you like a really quick, brief overview. So horizontal lines shorten and widen, so you wear them in areas where you want things shortened and widened. You avoid them in areas that you don't want shortened and widened. Vertical lines lengthen and lean, so you use them in areas where you want to lengthen and lean. You avoid them in areas where you don't want to lengthen and lean. And diagonal lines divide, you wear them in areas where you want to divide and you avoid them where you don't. And understand that lines are formed in numerous ways, not just in stripes or in a pattern, but they can also be formed by hemlines, lapels, belts, jacket lengths, shoe straps, your belt waist, etc., etc. I mean, not your belt waist. What do you call this? You know what I mean, the waist of your pants. I'm a little hungry, a little low blood sugar. I try to bulk film and man. So now let's get into our outfit formula examples. Now, quick note, I don't know if all of these people are pears in these outfits, in these pictures I'm about to show you, but I do know what outfits look good on a pear. As a matter of fact, I know off the back that some of these people aren't even pears at all. I know it's kind of hard for me to tell you to not look at the picture, but to kind of imagine, like visualize. Just stay with me. Also, these are outfit formulas, not necessarily outfit ideas. They're designed to help you figure out which silhouettes will work best with your body. So, for instance, if I show you an outfit that you're like, okay, I would never wear that, great. But the idea is to look at how things are lined up on the body, what silhouettes are being used. So if you see something that's like, oh my God, that's too dressy, I would never wear that, just look at the silhouette and then you can kind of be like, okay, well, I wouldn't wear that dressy skirt, I would probably wear this kind of skirt instead, or I wouldn't wear that material, I would wear this material instead. So, use your imagination, because it's only so much I can do. So our first outfit formula is a button-down top and a pencil skirt. Now, this type of pencil skirt is amazing for a pear shape because it honors the hips without being like, hips, yo, there's some hips right here. Look at these hips. Did you see the hips? And And the top balances the smaller back, especially with the shoulder area, the detail on the shoulders. Now, here's another example, although I think this is a one piece, or is she wearing a shirt tucked into a skirt? I can't tell, but whether it's a one piece, if it's a shirt dress, or if it's separate, either way, it's gonna work. I think that is a shirt dress. Here's another one that I'm pretty sure this is a dress. It looks like a Farm Rio dress, as a matter of fact. Lord, my eyes. But whether it's a dress or a separate, like I just said, this is going to be a silhouette that works for a pair. Now, again, like if you're like, oh my God, that's too dressy, I wouldn't wear that out. You can, it's not so much this particular piece. It's like, look at the silhouette. Like you might be able to find something that's more casual, or that's a different color or print or whatever that is going to be able to suit you. Now, here's another take on the pencil skirt and blouse outfit. Again, you have the pencil skirt, which we said is going to honor the hips without being like, oh my God, look here, the hips, right? And you have the shoulder detail, which is going to help to balance a pair, because a pair is quite narrow at the shoulders, and having this action here along with the straightness of the pencil skirt is going to balance a pair. Now, speaking of hips, there is a slippery slope, unfortunately, when it comes to the pear shape. Hips are seen as very feminine, which, in some regards can seem very sexy, and unfortunately, we live in the society in which we live in. Unfortunately, certain things that you would wear as a pair will look totally different than if somebody with maybe like a rectangle shape or an apple shape or whatever shape would wear. How it looks on them versus how it looks on a pair is quite different. Now, unfortunately, again, I said we live in a society in which we live in. When you're dressing up for your own time, you wear what you want to wear, but unfortunately, if you're in a place of worship or your place of employment, sometimes these people have dress codes that you have to follow, or, you find someplace else that caters to your needs. Now, in some cases, getting a size bigger or taking a hem down can be some adjustments that you can make to clothing so that you are in dress code for some of these situations. But unfortunately, some of these adjustments or, dressing around it don't necessarily flatter a pair shape. So you're unfortunately put in a position where you're in dress code, but you're not feeling your best. But unfortunately, if you don't have the privilege to, either work for yourself or work in a field where that kind of stuff doesn't matter, unfortunately, you kind of have to abide by those rules, or the alternative is to not be employed. I hate that that's the thing, but that's the thing. Now, me personally, I like to express myself how I want to express myself, but I also work for myself, so... Now, this is a weird segue because the next look is very much like a brunch vacation kind of look, but hey, if you have to stifle your creativity at work, then you'll probably really appreciate these kind of outfit formulas. But this is another take on the outfit formula of the blouse and the pencil skirt, except this is something that is a longer skirt. It does have a slit, so obviously if you're not into a slit, then you get something that doesn't have a slit in it, which is like this example here. So here's an example of a similar outfit without the slit. And then here is another take on that look with someone who's a different size, all very amazing, looking gorgeous. Now, if you notice the skirts in the last couple of examples have no shape, you're right. That is because, my dear pair, you are the shape, okay? Now, another outfit formula that we can take that kind of drifts off from the whole button-down shirt and blouse idea is the button-down shirt and shorts. Now, when you're a pair and you're trying to balance your pair shape, again, if you are trying to balance, if you're not, I don't know why you would click on this video, but thanks for being here. Try to stick to plain flat front shorts. You want to avoid any excessive pleating. Watch out for very big side pockets, because the side pockets, once you got them lovely lady lumps in them, could wind up making the pockets open up a little bit. So either, stitch the pockets down or try to avoid having big pockets on the sides where the hips are at their widest completely. And then you have this look as well, plain flat front shorts. This is more of I guess you could say I think that's a Bermuda short length, right? And then she's got the cute little top. If the top is a little bit too much, you could wear something that's a little bit more covered up. And then here's another option where you can play with some volume at the shoulders. Remember, pair shapes, they're quite narrow at the shoulders, so you can balance a pair so you can have some fun with volume at the shoulder area as well. This, I can't, listen, I'm looking at the picture, I don't even have the listing for this. This looks like it's from Farm Rio, and knowing Farm Rio, it's probably a top and some shorts, but it could also be a one piece. I don't know. But either way, whether it's a one piece or separates, it's gonna look good on a pair. And also take note of how like the floral design, like the leaf design on this kind of like curves in. That's also something that's going to sneakily give the illusion of making the hip area less apparent, if that is what you were trying to do. Because it's like a little sneaky, it's like a sneaky little cinchation going on the shorts without it feeling restricting, like as if you were wearing some like really tight shapewear. All right, so let's move on to another set of outfit formulas with blazers. Now, when it comes to choosing blazer lengths on a pair, it is super, super, super important to take note of where the end of that blazer is hitting you. Because if your blazer is hitting you at the widest part of your hips, it's going to make that area look even wider, which is great if that's what you wanted it to do. It's not great if that's not what you wanted it to do. So here's a blazer and skirt option. I love this look. Like, I might have to recreate this, Rihanna. This is cute. So this is something where, you know, clearly you can put like a tank or a t-shirt on underneath a blazer if you're not trying to, you know, just be raw dog in the blazer, you know? But where the blazer ends, it's at a lower point on her body, so it's not hitting her right where the hips are at their widest. And then you've got the really nice, I really need to recreate this outfit. That is so cute. And then the colors are so pretty for spring as well. Now, here's another option, similar-ish to this, except this one has a little bit of edge to it because of the type of jacket that she's wearing, but she's still being ladylike because you see those pumps. Here's another option with pants. Now, with the blazer, you want to make sure that the end of that blazer is not hitting you at your widest point. You either want that to go below the widest point, or you can wear something cropped that goes above your widest point. Now, when I initially looked at this picture, I thought that maybe she had, the way that she has her jeans cuffed at the bottom kind of made that like balloon effect. I don't think that these are barrel jeans. To me, they look like straight leg jeans, but the barrel jean, it's not impossible to pull off if you have a pear shape, because again, it depends on what your style goal is and, you know, what kind of aesthetic that you want. All right, so if you want to draw emphasis to your hips, you know how there's some barrel jeans where the barreling kind of starts at this area right here? If you want to draw more attention to your hips as a pair, then, you know, you go for those type of barrel jeans. But there are also barrel jeans where the barreling starts like below the knee. That might be an option if you want to do the barrel jean type of style and you have a pear shape, but you're trying to balance the pair. Now, next outfit formula, flat front jeans or pants with a voluminous top. So the volume at the top balances the shoulders. Remember, the shoulders on a pear shape are quite narrow, while the jeans, you know, these are flat front jeans, they honor the hips without being like, hips, there's some hips right there. Did you see the hips? By the way, hips. Here's another example, plain flat front jeans, a voluminous top. So you've got the volume here at the shoulders that's going to balance the pair, and the jeans are honoring the hips without being like, look at them hips, look at them hips. And then this look right here shows that you can have fun, you can layer. I love that she has this like burgundy trench on top. The color and the texture just boom. Now, this person is probably not a pear from what I can see. Based on, you know, this outfit, she doesn't look like a pear to me. But again, this is a type of outfit that you can wear with a pear shape that's going to really look really good. That's gonna balance a pair and look amazing. Ditto with this look. However, if you're a pear with a short torso, you're probably gonna wanna avoid any jeans, pants, or any bottoms really that are super high-waisted, because that super high waist is going to make a short torso look even shorter. Now, another outfit formula, which, can you call this a formula? It's just one piece. It's pencil dresses. Pencil dresses look amazing on pairs because they're able to, especially if they have a lot of volume up top and that pencil silhouette at the bottom, is going to honor the hips without being like, look, did you see these hips? But did you see the hips? Now, this dress is not on a pair, but imagine if it were. Now, remember, when balancing a pair, the silhouette on the bottom might seem like shapeless to the naked eye, but remember, as a pair, you are the shape on the bottom, okay? Not a lot of us could say that. Now, here's another example where you do have some kind of cool detailing at the bottom. It doesn't always have to be so plain. But with this ruffling detailing, just make sure that it's not hitting you at the widest part of your hip. If it's below the hip, you're good. If you are trying to balance a pear shape. Balance. And with any of these dresses, because sometimes in the spring, it's like, it's warm, but it's not like that warm. You might want a blazer or a trench or something like that, and you can add that on. Just make sure that the hemline of that trench, that blazer, that jacket does not hit you at your widest area if you are trying to balance your pear shape. So far in these outfit formula videos, I've done apple, I've done inverted triangle, just now we did pear. Now I'm gonna do rectangle and hourglass, and then I'm gonna give it some time, see how it does, and see if this needs to become a series where we do another one for the summer and then the fall and so on and so forth. Now, if you also happen to be a pear with a bigger bust, you wanna check out this video right here for some additional tips. Or if you're a pear with a bigger belay, or if you have both and you watch them both, check out these videos. Whichever one you choose, I'm gonna see you there.